Check it out. Hello, 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 Orky. Leonard, Prince, Felix. Well, for the spoilers and stuff, I don't know. I mean, we could try to hide what it is. We could change the thumbnail. Although the thumbnails already says video game music show. We could do, hide the title and everything. Just say we're playing Knack. That might be the best way to go. Let's go crazy and do that. I mean, as much as you like to kind of bring some people in for the last episodes and stuff, it does kind of feel like the kind of people we've been getting that have been coming in, they either are like, what is this game? I don't know what this is. Or they're coming in here for nefarious reasons, right? Or they're on DLive and they're just telling us what life's like in Turkey. You go, well, as much as you telling me how nice it is in Turkey right now and showing me your flag, I know so much about Turkey. I'm the expert of Turkey. All right, so yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Let's go crazy, and we gotta fight them. We'll fight them on the internet. We'll fight them with our titles. We'll fight them with our thumbnails. What game we playing? Knack? What's a game that no one will ever click on? Sinking City? You would watch people play the Sinking City, yeah. Change the title to Sinking City. Oh, I see. Two Vampirus. Leonard, I think you get a lot. I think you Fallout 76. Probably get some hardcore Fallout fans. I feel like the people in a lot of lemon distribution going on in Turkey. Ride to Hell Retribution. Fallout 76 is well received now. Two Vampirus. That is a game probably no one's ever heard of. It needs to be so bland that nobody would ever click on it. Not like a hate watch game where you're going, this is so bad we're making fun of it. Most bland. Here's a question. Survey question started off. Adventure Eyes of Heaven. Oh, I don't want JoJo fans. Aren't they like? The intense anime fans, because they'll come in here and they'll be like, "Oh, this isn't that. Let's all talk about it." Cookie clicker. Let's go with Glover. I think Glover wins because I kind of know what that is. No one would ever watch that. Even the few people that have played that and like that are not going to be playing Glover. You know that YouTube does have a way for you to only have members-only chat? I don't know if that means people that have subscribed or if you have to be like a paying member or something. But you have to do it through their weird new streaming thing, which I don't understand if that will work with my restream. It's sort of like you have to set the stream up beforehand and then you stream into it, and I don't know. Okay, paying members? Yeah, I don't really want that. I don't want to cut you guys out. Okay, Glover. I'm going to put up a Journey wallpaper. Oh man, I should put on Still Life. Were there Still Life fans that came out for that? Hey. Game. Glover. 1998's Glover. We need a wacky mascot that's relatable. Hey, we all wear gloves. Glover. Learning technology live on stream. Yeah, not that exciting, eh? Glover. And I'm going to call it that. Glover. No, not an interesting title. I'm going to change all the game names to it. Glover. Glover 2. Make it even more obscure. Oh, Glover 2's the worst one. That's when they sold out, man. Glover. I should probably put a picture of Glover as the thumbnail. But on Twitch, people still see. They can see what you're doing, right? They see the live thing of it. But I don't think we've had any Twitch of Yeah, people just wandered in for still life, but we're like, what the hell is this? Rise of the Lemon Bots. Made in Turkey, powered by lemons. Okay, this is good. So let's go. Oh, I need a picture of Glover. Danny Glover? Just, is this the Childish Gambino? Glover game. I don't want to see Donald Glover. Glover! Oh, man. And here's the creepy thing. Glover only has 4 fingers because he has 2 legs and 2 arms. Which is normal, you'd think, but it looks very unnatural on him. This is fantastic. Farming Simulator. You know, that was one I had suggested too, Felix, or that I thought of. And then I thought, no. There's probably people that love that stuff. Like, you get so creepy. Glover does sound... It's creepy. It's just weird. It's just... You don't want to see it. It's not even... It's not like Superman 64. Let's have a good time at how bad this game is. Glover. We've gone under Glover. All right. And that's how we became a super popular YouTube channel. Ever since we started streaming Glover. All right. Simmer down and pucker up. Can you go over there? Nice. I like using windows. Glover. Now, all of my memories about this amazing game are going to be under the glove of Glover. It's pretty cool. Good God, I'm so exhausted today. I've been getting very much sleep. I'm trying. I try to go to bed on time, but it's just so hot and... there's so much work all day. I played a 5-hour music gig yesterday. All right. Shut up. Oh, there's that scrunchy face I miss. Screw you, man. I'm covered in blood. All right, you hurt yourself. I'm trying to get back into the mindset. Dina saying, then don't go. And comforting her. And having a great life. And their little potato. Their little potato. Their little potato. Ellie's full of lemons. Glover. Ew. Wow. Boombox. These guys don't have PS3s. It's not the reminder I need to go to sleep. It's just... Oh, I love that overgrownness. It's just that it's so hot. I need better headphones or something. Yeah, what if we find that there's a huge, what do you call that, Venn diagram? There's a correlation between Glover fans who also like to spoil games. That's the kind of people that are into spoiling games. Their favorite game is actually Glover. Screw you, Neil Druckmann. Should have been more like Glover. You SJW. Glover. What if Glover is like a huge symbol in the sort of neo-Nazi video game 4chan group? I can't. Oh man, if we get a Glover fan in, that's gonna be the greatest. Someone comes in. Finally! Aww. No G-Love for glove? Yeah. You think they put this part in the end so people could try to finish off feeling really good about Ellie? Like, yeah. I'm Ellie, I'm kicking ass. Screw you, Dina. And Abby. I guess it's for those fans. Yeah, Felix. Because you disrespected Glover, I will research whatever game this is you're playing and spoil it. I feel like I went up the stairs to progress. This kind of seems like the way to go, but there are dead bodies out here, so that can't be it. Not out here. Glover's got a gun. Barely hold a gun. He's got 4 fingers. He's got like a thumb and 3 fingers. I guess the Simpsons don't have 4 fingers and a thumb, do they? Inside, 2nd floor. Okay, 2nd floor. Inside. You know, a lot of people have been disrespecting Glover, but this is the last straw. This is the glove that broke the glove rack. Could see somebody spoiling this game just for how terrible I am at navigating this part. I thought we kind of had to like go outside and around the garden. That's because I have you distracting me, Linot. Whenever you're not here, I'm amazing at navigating games. It's only when you're here and watching, distracting me with your nonsense. To be fair, I was continuing on. Yeah. Happy 1 a.m. for Felix. Thank you for joining us. At night in Indonesia. What's that? Getting lost in 13? I think there was one point where we were trying to find something in the open plains. Not the wounds! Yeah! I feel like just from the way that old man looks and is moving around, these people are probably not that important and not going to be around very long. They don't look that detailed. They move kind of wonky. But maybe not. Maybe just the old guy.
Right, come on, let's go.
Hey, well,
Where's
He looks like
Abby?
Grand Moff Tarkin.
She's bit!
Keep back!
Hey, don't put that fucking thing in me!
Hey! Abby tried to escape. She's down in the pillars.
The pillars?
Head down to the beach. You won't miss it. She's probably already dead.
Look at the guy in the back. He doesn't even have a face. All these people, those two in the back.
Come on!
I love it. I love video game faces. I love this music with her, like, wounded marching. Bye, Grand Moff Tarkin. Ooh. This music is nice. Boom, boom, boom. It's probably already dead. This is the part where you start feeling... like, okay, if she's gonna die, why do you have to kill her? You psycho. Abby, she sounds like a zombie. I don't know if I remember that. Horky. Not a good sign. You know what happens a lot in this game? You open a door and somebody hits you from the side. Oh, I like the way the camera kind of swings heavy when you come through. Oh, I remember that, Horky, now. Now I remember. That kind of beach.
Fuck. It's the beach.
Kind of looks like a Vietnam movie. Vietnam War movie. Hamburger helper. Ted's here. Glover fan.
Holy.
Since when are seagulls meat eaters? Oh, all the time, you idiot. They eat fish. I'm so stupid. Oh, God, that would be so gross. Just seeing those visual bugs all around. Ugh. Down to the pillars. Wow, I can see why Lena liked this. Because his brain went Death Stranding?
Abby?
Creepy, moody beach? Ugh. Oh, I hear someone coughing. Who's coughing? That one?
Help me. Please.
That's Abby?
It's you.
Wow. She looks like Zach from Saved by the Bell. Oh, Oh, I didn't even notice Lev.
Abby. I got you.
Oh, that's why people said it was the Holocaust or whatever.
I got you. They're both this way.
Wow, what an interesting moment. I feel like because I know that people are so butthurt about it, that it could never end with Ellie killing Abby. Otherwise, people would be, I think they'd be less butthurt and they'd be like, yeah, she killed her. It's going to be something where they like work together, Ellie sacrifices her for her or something. The one person she didn't want to ever see again is the one who lets her down. Yeah, in this like darkest possible moment of their life. This is such a different story, eh, from the first one? Oh, yeah. Oh, good call. Thanks, Leonard. I didn't notice that. Is she going to take her own boat? I don't want to be a boat with them. I just risked my life and maybe ruined my partnership to come down here. And I'm now probably, like, permanently damaged. Oh, Shook's freaked. No! Oh, yeah.
I can't let you leave. I'm not doing this.
You shouldn't have warned her.
No. I'm not gonna fight you. Yes, you will. He's not a part of this. You made him a part of this. Okay. Okay.
Whoa. Oh, she's fast. Oh, God. Wow. You know, and it's because you have a weapon and she doesn't. And it's not like a weapon where you're killing them fast. You're just slashing them over and over and over and over and over again. Like people that get into knife fights and even survive can be stabbed 15 times. Oh man, her willing that out. I mean, they've had the camera on her face the whole time, on Abby's face, being like weak and distressed, and then to be like hammering the square to get that in there and her to push it out. Uh-oh, no knife. Can I pick the knife up? Oh man, the punches feel so good. The punches have so much weight. Hey, we're here to discuss the game. You've already played it. You guys have already seen the ending. That's pretty amazing. Like the way those punches smash into each other. It's not like I don't know, it doesn't have that movie TV feel. It really feels like the brutality of actually hitting somebody with your body. And even to like have it blocked, it's still bone on bone, you know? Oh, free. Ah. Jeez. That was fast. Rikio. Yeah, she does really look like somebody. Oh my god. Oh, what about Lev? Lev might come back.
Go. Just take him.
feel like even though we had the spoiler about the fingers, the way it happened is still was done so well. And it still caught me off guard, actually. I kind of thought when I hear, like, fingers going, this is what people are butthurt about? I guess that they played a game that made you really uncomfortable the whole way through. And basically says, killing people's wrong. Stop killing people. In this game, you have to kill people. Stop killing people. In this game where you kill people. Come on, Stubbs. Oh my god, how are you going to play guitar? That's okay, Django Reinhardt played guitar with... Oh god, he lost his fingers. He only had 2 fingers. Gypsy jazz. Wow. Never experienced a fight like that in a video game. I mean, that's pure cinematic and gameplay. The storytelling through the gameplay. I can see why people thought like something like that is so effective at conveying a horrible feeling is well, they're doing everything they can to kind of get you to sympathize for Abby. They show Ellie from behind. The camera's on Abby's face. She's trying to be... She's only fighting to save Lev. Her face is like, you know, like you guys said, emaciated, weakened. She's not enjoying the fight. And she looks so different than how we always saw her before. Ah, I wish that other thing didn't get spoiled too, because I totally would have been surprised by that. I won't say it in case anyone forgot or wasn't here during that. I don't think it's that the PS4 had a short lifespan. It's just that the PS3 had a really long lifespan. I think because of the recession and because it was the first one to jump to the, it's like the HD era. And probably because of the Wii. I think the Wii prolonged that era too. No, did she friggin' move out? Did she move out? Oh, that's why they had you play and get to know that whole house so slowly with the baby. Oh my god, now you lost everything. Oh, shit. And, like, how would you find somebody? Maybe she would have went back. Yeah, they're all gone. Wow. She didn't want to wait. Yeah, it's, if you remember in part 1 when Ellie talked to Sam, she told him her biggest fear is being alone. When Ellie talked to Sam. I guess she's never... Oh, all your stuff's here. Oh, there's got to be a note. In the game of notes, there has to be a note. I hope they have Dina read it. Getting your old records back from your ex. Oh, and I should go back with Jesse. No, Jesse's dead. Nice. Got all my fingers.
Hey.
What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Where'd you get that?
Those people that came through last week.
Oh.
A little embarrassed as to what I had to trade to get it, but it's not bad.
Right after the party? Okay, thanks, Felix.
I had Seth under control.
Yeah, I know.
And you need to stop harassing Jesse about my patrols.
Okay. Dina. Is she your girlfriend?
No. No, that was just one kiss. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know why she did that.
But you do like her.
I really like this part. I want to see Joel be a dad again and have a talk.
Look, I have no idea what that girl's intentions are, but I do know that she would be lucky to have you.
You're such an asshole.
Why?
I'm not trying to.
I was supposed to die in that hospital.
Oh.
My life would have fucking mattered. But you took that from me.
If somehow the Lord gave me a second chance at that moment,
What would you do, Joel?
I would do it all over again.
Look at that stern face.
Yeah. I don't think I can ever forgive you for that. But I would like to try.
Joel wants a hug.
Okay. I'll see you around.
Yep.
Now it's an ad for Taylor. Wow. Doesn't even want to stay in the house one night just to like even rest up. You know, just gone, done with it. Done with the guitar, done with the house. This is where the butthurt people are like writing down names. I'm gonna write Neil Druckmann, whoever Anthony Newman is. You're gonna, oh, John Sweeney, you're gonna get it. Oh, Travis McIntosh, you better not have a Twitter. Yeah, that's what that guy had said. Weird. Window, $100 left the window open. Yeah, I thought there was gonna be a confrontation with like Tommy and he'd die or something. Transition into the next song. Probably not gonna have a post-credit scene. That's it, eh? As Horky says, fin. Huh. Yeah, I guess they thought one more, because people haven't been playing as Ellie for so long, I think they wanted to give them one more big final base to take over to do a heist. But I was kind of at the point where I was ready for it to be over. I mean, I guess you can kind of just run through those parts, but it was pretty difficult. So, I guess they wanted to make it really seem like Ellie had been beat up on the way. I mean, but you could have done all that with cutscenes, like they did, because all the parts where she gets extra hurt are all the were in cutscenes. So you could have cut those, but I mean, and then it's kind of like, well, then why even have a game? But see, the interesting thing about it being a game is that you are playing as Abby. And you're playing as Abby when you're trying to kill Ellie, and you're playing as Ellie when you're having that horrible fist fight. I can see, while I don't agree with people going on Twitter and harassing people like that. I mean, not only is that extremely abusive, I mean, first off, it's just very immature, but it's also like very harmful and abusive. And should be punished. I mean, these people need to understand the consequences. And the problem with social media is that you can just say it into your computer or your phone, and they're not getting that. Like, these people would never meet Neil Druckmann or Laura Bailey or whoever, you know, like a fan convention and say those kind of things. And that is one of the problems with the internet and anonymity. But anyways, so like, well, obviously I wouldn't agree with that. Yeah, Abby was like so weakened, and Ellie got to start off with Ellie got to start off with a weapon. You know, this wasn't fair to begin with. She was slashing her, and she'd been hanging from a post for who knows how long. And then had to carry Lev down to the boats. And just didn't have it in her to really fight, you know. And then Ellie slashed her up. So people are saying the story is pointless because Ellie doesn't kill Abby. Yeah, that is the whole point of it. The whole point of it is that it kind of reminds me of there's a Beatles song on Abbey Road called "She's So Heavy," and the first like 3 minutes of it are like a normal song. The end of it, it loops this one guitar part with lots of noise, and normally where that would maybe fade out after like 15 seconds, this just becomes, it goes and goes and goes, and then it ends up kind of having all this like weird crazy fuzz and noise, and it's exploring the idea of like what would happen if a song didn't fade out. Where would it go to? And I think that's what this one does. Like when you call it part 2, all right, we had this story and of the first one. Now, what happens to these people who become anti-heroes and they go through some tough times, and then we play our fun little game with them, and they ride off into the sunset, and we never think about them ever again? Well, we do, but we don't think about what's really going to happen. Like, what are the consequences of that? So I think that was a pretty genius move, and very, very courageous to take such beloved characters. And I don't think anything that happened in this was unrealistic. Maybe a few things are kind of like plotted into it, but you know, it's like, it's where you can't control feelings, you know? Joel can't control that he wanted to save Ellie. And Abby isn't going to forget that her father was killed by this person. And instead of them kind of like blaming the overall situation, they find somebody to be a scapegoat. So it makes sense, you know. Abby's father was killed, so she's going to want to go on revenge. Kills Joel. That's Ellie's sort of father. You know, you see your friends die. You can't control that revenge, but who's Bruce Straley? And then watching that keep eating itself, right? That cycle of revenge. Seth. He's pretty high up in the credit list. Must be order of appearance. Steve Blum. Brianna Knickerbocker. Matthew Mercer. Dance motion capture. Canine motion capture. Horses. Animal performers. Man, they actually... I guess, yeah, if you're doing motion capture, you're going to need to be doing stunts. The voice recording was done so bloody well. No expense spared. No detail overlooked. Uh-oh, I see a Kyle Bailey. Maybe Laura Bailey getting somebody a job. Now this is the other side of it. All this art outsourcing. Cutscenes and animations shipped off to Asian places and European countries where it's much, much cheaper. Yeah, it's like it's following that, where The Last of Us 1 is kind of dark, but Joel still does a heroic thing in the end. And the whole game was about him taking her to that place, but keeping her alive. So he got he couldn't separate that. He took her to the place, but he was still going to keep her alive. He's kind of like a robot. You know when there's like an assassin droid or a normal droid, and they're like, it is against my programming to attack my master. There's no way Joel was going to let Ellie die. But I think she puts it pretty well. He took away my chance to be special. It's kind of, yeah, it's the reason why a lot of sequels don't work is because what can you... Oh, my window just fell. What can you really do? You're not going to have the same game as the first one, and it seems like Neil Druckmann's just kind of tired of making games where people die. You know? I'm very, very interested in seeing what's the next game he's going to do. That wasn't in real life jump scare. It's kind of like, it's exploring, sort of like, you know how Shadow of the Colossus is exploring, what if you actually cared about the enemies that you killed? And this is the same thing of like, what happens after we put these people through horrible experiences for our enjoyment, to call them anti-heroes and to think of them being dark and oh, did you have to do a lot of bad things, but in the end they both survive. And I mean, this game, the first game, when it ends with Joel lying to her twice, I mean, it really had to be a main conceit of it. I just didn't think it was going to be, but it wasn't only just, it was Joel dealing with consequences. It was everybody's consequences. Joel can't see, and that's another thing. Like, what if
Just a poor wayfaring stranger.
I don't want to get copyrighted or whatever for this. Oh, it's Ellie doing it?
World of woe. There is no sickness, no toil, nor danger.
Covers can be copyrighted
in
too.
that bright land
Of course they can.
to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I know dark clouds will gather round me. I know my way is rough and steep, but beauteous fields lie just before me, where God's redeemed their vigils keep. I'm going there to see my father. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going.
Oh, Tim Terry works for Naughty Dog?
Over.
Corporate Communications and Public Relations. Yeah, I know that he worked for, he was a Game Informer guy for a long time.
Soon be free from earthly trial. There's spotty red in the old churchyard. I'll drop this cross of self-denial and go singing home to God. I'm going there to see my Savior. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I'm just a going.
Yeah, all right. What were we saying? Yeah, I think that it's New Game Plus. Play through the game with all the upgrades and equipment obtained from a previous playthrough. That's nice. Yeah, so I think that it's an incredibly courageous move from Neil Druckmann. It's ambitious, one of a kind, and something you can only do in a video game, what he did. And that is more effective as a video game. I wouldn't say it was terribly fun to play as. But this scene is the new Firefly hideout location. The round building. Okay. This is their home base. Cool. Yeah. And even in its most effective parts of drama and when they're trying to make you feel uncomfortable, of course. But then there's also parts where just like the pacing, first part of the game, like sort of the first half of it. So, it's not a perfect game. But it's one of those things where it has some really, really high highs and some draggy lows and some middling stuff. I mean, the polish of the game and just generally how Naughty Dog can present something will elevate it big time, and kind of just the ambition of the plot and the composition of the plot is will definitely give it a few extra points that make up for that. But I think I would commend it for just trying and pulling off something for the most part that I've just never seen before. And for video games as an art form, I did it. And I think the main thing is that it maybe it didn't need to be The Last of Us. You know, you didn't need to use those characters. Like, I guess, like, if people want, the people that are quite angry about it, if you would have just, so if you did like a sequel, a different one, where, I mean, I can kind of see like they were wondering like, well, what are we going to do? Have some tension between Joel and Ellie. Have Ellie fall in love with Dina. Have them make up in the end and team up to fight what? What are they teaming up to do? The main thing of the first game was, this is the girl with the biggest hope for humanity. We need to get her to the doctors and save the world. There's nothing more important than her. And these two develop a familial bond along the way. And then Joel is so attached to her, doesn't want to lose another little girl again. So, And then and then that kind of ends on that huge cliffhanger of, well, we lied to her. She's eventually going to find out. So what could you really do? So in the next, so say this was part 2 written by the people who were butthurt. Would you have Joel around a lot longer, have Abby kill Joel, and then in the end of it, Ellie just finds her and kills her? And Abby's like, Ellie's just kind of, what, like, I got revenge. It just, you wouldn't have anything that makes it impactful. Yeah. Well, it wouldn't even be a rehash of part 1, because Joel and Ellie are already close, you know. They've already kind of fallen in father-daughter love. Don't Google that. So there's nothing really to do. It's kind of like the problem with Ellie and Dina. They weren't interesting because they were already together. So their walk around open world Seattle was pretty boring, because other than the drama of her, you know, being pregnant and stuff, but there's just really nothing you could do for a sequel. Other than this was pretty smart. I didn't like it, but I think like the first time you're playing and experiencing it is also going to be way different than writing it. And because, I mean, I'm 10 hours in, I see Joel die. I'm, you know, like 15 hours in, I'm playing as Abby. I'm experiencing all this for the first time, doing everything in less than 40 hours. These people worked on this game and this story for what, like 4 or 5 years or something? It was Wholesome Prince? That's good. Because there's some weird trends going on. Can't remember what I was saying. Horky, one thing you were saying earlier is that it's interesting how you have no control over the outcome of the game, but you're given control during the game in an attempt to reinforce connecting to the character. That's it. It's like, yeah, you have no control, but the game is kind of making you feel like it's wrong to kill people, but you are forced to kill people. When you're Abby and you have to win the fight because it's a video game and there's only one outcome. If you want to keep playing in this story, if you want to keep playing in this world, you need to bash Ellie's brains in skillfully. And at the end, you got to cut her up and you got to try to drown her. You can't control anything, but I definitely did. And I think so for sure, Horky. I think it explores totally new ways of connecting with the cinematic storytelling and using the gameplay. Like I mentioned in Telltale Borderlands, Tales in the Borderlands, or whatever that is, when you've got to press the button and scoop the person's eyeball out. This took that to a whole new level beyond, where I really, really did feel, even if you're just pressing square in a cutscene or something, but there's something about when you're doing the hand-to-hand fighting with Ellie and Abby, whatever side you're on, it's to have to like still be dodging and doing, like, you're only pressing 2 buttons and you're doing it in time, but there's something about it being a challenge that kind of messes with your decision making, because you don't want to lose and you want to get the timing right and you can't afford to hesitate. I think it's pretty brilliant. It never actively wiggles the finger at you saying killing is bad. I kind of feel like every single part of the game is telling you that. You know, they're saying Joel was wrong to kill Abby's father. In the end, it's all for nothing. I think I would disagree with you there. I would just say that they're trying to tell you that the whole time, while also forcing you to kill people like crazy to get through. I think it really does take. I think it uses what a video game can be, because in a video game, you personify with characters. You relate to them in a way that is beyond what a movie and a TV show can do. Because in a movie and a TV show, they're still characters. They're not you. Whereas having to be, I think branching paths should be utilized. I was thinking a lot about that. Where, what should Druckmann do next? It seems like Druckmann is done with killing people. Oh, you know something else I was thinking? What if they're in like Uncharted 2? The like sons and cousins and daughters and wives or whatever of the thousands of people that Nathan Drake has killed all came looking for revenge, you know? And every major confrontation, you have to press at least one button to kill someone. That's a good way of doing it. Like, you can still have a cutscene, but yeah, you have that interactivity making you do it. Something inherently, for the most part, impossible with film unless you do a choose-your-own-adventure thing like Black Mirror. Well, yeah, I think with the... So I was wondering, okay, if Neil Druckmann is in the future is going to make games that are like not about violence, but utilize his strengths of storytelling and consequence, I think that it would be really interesting to see Neil Druckmann figure out a way to do branching storylines, because what he's so talented at is making the characters feel guilt and the weight of their choices. So if you could now make the characters feel that. No, it's not about giving the players the freedom to tell their own stories of, like, it's not Minecraft. It's still going to be pretty limited, but I think that Druckmann could play around with that. If he didn't have to worry about making a stealth system and a combat system and a cover system and like crafting, if you threw all that away and you just had storytelling, but you made meaningful decisions, and then you had to live with those decisions and consequences. But the problem is, like, how many choices and paths do you have? And how do you have enough that it feels satisfying that you have enough paths? And I mean, once you start introducing these, it just splinters off and path. The pacing is weird at times, though. The flashbacks came in the worst moments, like switching to Abby at gunpoint or the Dina kissing. Yeah, it's yeah, the pacing was really tough. Long bouts in the beginning of getting it going, and then wanting to come back to it. I mean, maybe that's there's always a rule of, like, leave people wanting more. Leave them on the cliffhanger. Let's click cliffhanger storytelling. Glover. Well, we didn't have anybody come in and bother us. No, not all stories need branching paths. Yeah, Leonard, I really don't think you're understanding this. It's not asking people to write a story. It's not asking people to do a sandbox. Have you ever played a Telltale game or a Walking Dead game where you have to make serious choices about who lives and who dies, who gets food and who goes hungry, and then you deal with those consequences along the way? It hasn't, like, people are not screwing anything up. There's limited choices, but even just having two choices here and there would be really interesting. Well, I think who is alive or dead is not cosmetic. They generally use a diamond shape of, everyone starts in the same spot. You can split up here, but you do all have the same ending. No, I'm surprised you, like, push back so hard on that. All it would mean is more writing. There are literally fungal zombies. Too many convenient events of chance happen. Abby happens to find Joel. Ellie happens to drop the map. That's true. Yeah, it's very... I mean, I guess they had hints, and they've been looking, and they would eventually find them. And I do like... I like that even in the beginning when they were killing Joel, it was like Abby's whole team, they didn't really, most of them didn't seem into it. Some of them really were. Some of them were just like, ugh, let's go, you're done. Okay, let's go back to regular life. Yeah, Ellie dropping the map was pretty dumb, but I guess they needed a way. Giving you the choice between killing and letting Abby live would have made it better. You know what? That's a choice where... That's a choice that wouldn't have really affected anything. You know? You could have easily done that. Well, you watch the person die, Lena. That's the whole point. And you deal with, like, the guilt and stuff of it. So, but that's a part of game development when you're trying to have branching paths. You can't have everything change because you can't make 3 games worth of games. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they could have done that. I feel, but I mean, when you're trying to be, they're trying to tell a story, and they're showing an arc. Not every single thing needs to be choice driven, but I mean, okay, what is playing a video game? You know, it's you're making choices of some kind. What? Why didn't fucking say that, Lena? I'm telling you that you can have choices without it being 3 different words of the video game. I don't understand, like, why you're so angry at the possibility of there being another kind of game that would work with cinematic. Because what it really comes down to is that you didn't really need to play this. You could have watched it. It is stronger to be pressing the buttons to do the killing, right? But it's, I could have just watched all the cutscenes, you know? And, yeah, and I personally think canon is just silly. It's just so limiting. But what's canon? Whatever you want it to be for the moment. Like Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has an evolving canon. You can save $60. It's pretty loose. There are some moments where, like, I definitely did feel the, even something so simple as just pressing square and not even timed. I did feel that, but I think it's still like 90% effective without it. No. Carefully crafted. It's a bunch of random nonsense that is constantly modified. It's like watching Windows. They instead of making new Windows, they just keep patching it. Yeah, I think so too, Horky. Like I still feel they had some really strong moments of gameplay control. Not really control, but forcing. It's kind of like making you be an accomplice, you know? Playing as Abby was horrible, and it would be very different to just watch Abby. Very, very different. I would feel separated from it, you know? It'd be more like, oh, now we're watching what Abby's doing. Oh, I see. Abby, okay. Oh, very interesting. But it's way different to be controlling her and moving around and playing as her, which I didn't really like at all, actually. I eventually came around to her, but it was more of a Stockholm Syndrome thing. That's why it had to be a game. Yet, so much of the story is uncontrollable cutscenes. Other than pressing a button to kill somebody. Yeah, I feel like this could be potentially, pretty well, yeah, I think it could be like, like this could be a hint, like Corky says, a hint at what's to come. This could be something that people are inspired by and go to make their own. Yeah, that's the thing, is that I had more empathy not controlling her because I just didn't want to play as her. I didn't want to. I think I did have more of it. More of just kind of watching her story. Although I did like playing as her. That's true, because she's so powerful. So that was fun. You know, running up and punching everybody in the face is awesome. Because it's for this game and the last game, you're so much weaker than everybody, right? But she's so strong. Yeah. I don't think it had to be a game at all. And actually, I think that you would get empathy by just watching. Absolutely. And you would feel less, you wouldn't feel the personal connection as I think like when you watch a movie, yeah, you can disconnect from them. Well, they killed your favorite character, but yeah, it's not as personal. It's not as intimate. Gaming is so intimate because you're in it. You're in the world. You're controlling people. Could be your fault. You know what would be more surprising is like, you know, if they didn't do it in cutscenes, if they had it so it was a gameplay section and you were running to save Joel or something, and you thought, oh, this is a gameplay section, so obviously I'm going to save him. And then not cutting to a cutscene and just you see him die in the game, like right next to you, while you have control of everything, would feel like you really failed. I think you'd feel that even more, and you'd probably be left wondering, could I have saved him? You know? Yeah, Felix, that's the interesting thing, is that it's I definitely think about this game way differently than any other game. It's ambitious, challenging. Ambitious and challenging in many ways. The idea that he did was super ambitious, and it's very challenging to create a sequel, and it's very challenging to make an effective game with this kind of a story. So, yeah, it's a very, very strong artistic statement of trying to move games forward and take a real serious look at what they're doing. It's sort of like people wanted a heroic / slightly dark / you know, father-daughter love note. And they didn't get that. What they got was like this very intense, super uncomfortable art thriller that just so happens to have one of the biggest budgets of any video game ever. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, storytelling in movies has been told through camera angles. You can have camera angles, though, without a free-moving camera. But I'm just saying it would feel more impactful. Like I said in Alien Isolation, when it goes to, I'm scared of the alien until it goes to a cutscene, and then I think, well, I have no more control. It doesn't matter. There's nothing to feel scared of. But in Half-Life, when you're crawling through a vent, and then and you think you're in a little vent, and then all of a sudden an explosion happens, and you realize they see you and it exploded. That's exciting. Yeah. You're in control some of the time until we take it away, and now how does that feel? You know, I think they do. I mean, for example, you're controlling Ellie in the final area. Well, one of the final areas, the final battle area. And you're going through the door. You press the button to go through the door. Someone attacks you. You lose control there, but that's because the person is choking Ellie, and then maybe you get control back when you don't have control. So I have any control at all, exactly. I guess to make you feel more empathy. Yeah. Yeah, I guess for you, Leonard, it's like, do you just want to go to a movie? You just want to watch a movie and then have a controller, and every once in a while they tell you to press square? You know, like, what's the point of having the whole game? Why have control at all? Like we were discussing, there is a reason to have control, to try to build more empathy and to try to make you feel uncomfortable. I think that what this being a game achieved was that I felt awful most of the time. That's actually, I'm trying to think of, like, when did I feel satisfied playing this as a game? Usually the cutscenes were the parts that made me feel the best. When Joel's on the porch and he asks Ellie if Dina's her girlfriend, I started tearing up. I don't know if you could see from this far away, but I think it's probably because I'm 36, so I have, like, dad hormones I got dad brain, and I just miss Joel and, like, seeing them finally break their awkwardness and him being embarrassed. That was the part that was really moving, was him just trying to be a dad. He just wants to be a dad again. He wants to ask about a girlfriend, and he wants to be there and help out. He wants to give advice. You know, I miss that. Be interesting to see what other ideas they would have had for the story. But yeah, I mean, he just picked a strong choice and he went for it. I think overall it ends pretty strongly, really strongly, and I get what they were doing. And I'd give the first game like a 10 out of 10. And this one I'd give, oh man, it's like a sliding scale. Actually, you know what? Ink of the Dragon was saying he thinks that games should be reviewed like that. It slides from a 7 to a 10. There are some moments in this game that are like, wow, masterpiece, 10 out of 10. And then other times where I'm going like, this is like a 7 or a 6. This is a very, very polished 7 where I just don't really want to be sneaking around looking for zombies anymore. It's just kind of old news. And I think they seem to realize that, where they took out a lot of that stuff later on. And kind of at the point where I was like so tired of looking after zombies, I love that when you go to that hospital, you don't have to fight. You don't have to sneak around. There are none. You find that super Rat King, and you have a fun boss battle. I'd probably give it like a 9. It's an uncomfortable 9. A strong 8. And when, if you get past the draggy parts, it's that's the thing, is like, even when the gameplay drags, you still have these environments to explore and look at, and the ambiance of it. It's kind of like going to a really, really nice restaurant, and the ambiance is so nice, and the food can be so nice. But even if you had kind of like a mediocre wine or something at the restaurant, it would still be better just because of the environment you're in, Horky, I think it's hard to know for sure what you'll want until you've already tried it. You said yourself you thought you'd hate this game. Yeah. Berg Spitzel. Bergie, I made you a mod, buddy boy. We decided to call it Glover so we just can get rid of people spoiling. Yeah, because Lena, you were you were reading all the lore and saying someone left because of the SJW stuff. There's that whole thing too with Druckmann trying to address every single stereotype and God, what would you call it? I mean, racism, sexism, transism, every ism Neil Druckmann is addressing. What's with like nobody being good looking in this game? Why does he have that? Is that because Ellie, who's already kind of plain, like in the first game, she was young, so it wasn't a factor, but she was like, maybe like kind of a cutesy little tomboy. So he doesn't want to have anyone better looking than her. Phobias. Yes, Prince, that's it. He's like dealing with every phobia and bigotry. Almost like everyone you can ever think of. Yeah, I would say nobody good looking except for, like, I'd say in the beginning, Dina's like really plain. Mel is just like bug-eyed gecko. Abby, it's like they just really tried to make her the opposite of, like a feminine hot action star. And then they thrust it in your face. They literally thrust it in your face with Owen. Yeah, Owen was probably one of the few good-looking guys around, from what I can tell. But his choice in women didn't really, I don't know. What was I going to... Just didn't seem to add up, Well, I mean, you can always look... There's always going to be a minority of absolutely everything. No, they don't. Well, I mean, okay, when you think of like... I like that bird. Okay, when you think of like... Okay, video games are... I'm not saying that they need to be like kawaii, big-eyed, sort of Asian sex dolls. But, I walked around a mall the other day. And there are... it's like there are really good-looking people in the world. Everywhere. But not in this game. It's like they just kind of go out of their way. Even in the first one, too, actually. There's that girl that Joel's kind of hanging around with in the beginning. She was kind of pretty. She just was hardened. She lived in this, like, horrible world, right? It doesn't have to be Doki Doki Literature Club, but, like, Mel? Come on. Owen's like the man, the sexiest dude. And his choices are Abby and Mel. Dina does look way hotter once they live in that house. She has kind of like a deep sensuality about her, which I think works really well for her. But kind of like in the beginning of the game, I don't know, it's like they focus on her flaws more. They don't really let her shine. Even Ellie, I guess they're in just like combat mode. Okay, and then you've got... It's more of her hair. I guess it's like her hair or the skin or the lighting or something about her when she has the kid. Okay, but now when you think of who are sort of like the... maybe not Prince's tastes, but I would say that we get to decide whether Ellie gets back together with Tina. Yeah, Ellie just takes off and we'll try to make it work. Well, Berg, we're going through a lot. We're going through a lot of things. We talked a lot about the differences between what is a movie, what's a video game, why do you need control, how can you tell a different story, the ambition and the challenges of what Druckmann did, where it succeeded, where it failed, and now I'm back to sort of the first bits that kind of struck me in this game are like, okay, you look at Jesse. Now, there is, I was reading a post from, there's an Asian man in, not my community, the next one over, doesn't matter. And he was talking about racism, and he was saying that in dating sites, Asian men are the least picked, the least desirable, according to dating sites, as opposed to like Asian women who are highly desirable. So I thought that was kind of an interesting thing where it's like Druckmann just looked up every single bias and phobia, and he's like, I'm going to include them all. The alpha dog, bad dude, motherfucker is going to be this Asian guy, which is cool. But it's kind of like he's so much better looking than... I'm heterosexual male, and he's like better looking than Ellie and Dina for the first half of the game. And then all of a sudden it kind of switches, and they make Ellie and Dina look way more attractive. Because they're in love. Nailed him, Horky! You nailed him! Yeah. Killed herself to end the cycle. What else you got? Old white man. Old white men trying to control young feminist women. Seth and Joel. All right, let's put that in the game. And them saying sorry but not being forgiven. Both of them. Even though Ellie says I'd like to try, she says I'll probably never be able to forgive you. White guilt. So we got white guilt in the game. We've got... Oh, games don't have trans characters. Except for Mario 2. Oh, okay, here's a trans character. Oh, trans characters are never played by trans actors. This will be played by a trans actor. What else? Oh, yeah, they confronted religion and probably like Islam. What else? Not enough bald people in games. A lot of Asians in the game compared to most. Seemed like, although in, where were they? Like Santa Barbara, Seattle, West Coast, there are a lot of Asians. But even just like Asian representation in games, that was way up there. It's like there was no... If you think of a James Bond movie where Denise Richards plays the scientist and then spends like half the movie in a wet t-shirt, there was no that girl in this game. There was no like super randomly hot girl. And like, okay, now even look at the Asian women that were in the game. They were all kind of... They were not seen as like sex objects. They played Evita. They were kind of mostly just like, again, bland and normal looking. They looked like me, but an Asian woman. Kind of chubby and bland and soft and doughy and more interested in Evita than anything else. Oh, what else is he trying to confront? Oh, I don't know, normalizing killing without consequence in video games. He's dealing with that. I was getting kind of a Holocaust vibe from them being strung up like that with shaved heads, the color of their clothes and the color palette, and them just like being so exhausted to even fight. If I was an Asian girl. So, yeah, it was sort of like the Asian girl you like to think you can get is in Doki Doki. And the one you might end up with and be happy with is at the Wolf Base. But it's more like everybody in this game they were sort of like less attractive than people in real life. At least where I live. It's interesting. What else does he confront? Big section on Judaism. That was not interesting, not funny, not controversial. It's just a Jewish history lesson. I thought that was pretty lame. And it just kind of... It was like that could have been something that maybe helped their relationship in that beginning, the Ellie and Dina weakness. Character model viewers. I do want to see who the actors are, though. Let's see here. Yeah, it was a Jewish history lesson. Like that felt very self-serving. Like, oh, it'd be like if I made a game and forced you to like learn about the Hungarian Revolution that turned my father into a refugee. So, let's see here. Last of Us actors. Well, Last of Us 2. Bing. Bring. Okay, do I have a display capture ready for you? I think Dina looks hotter and like. See, something they're doing is they'll like they'll take a voice actor and a face scan, and then they'll kind of make them less attractive in the game. Remember that happened in Mass Effect Andromeda? But I thought that had more to do with just them having a nightmare of a time animating anything. Okay, what do we got here? Kaboom. All right, Dean Bean. Let's see. How do I make this small, but also... I see. Like this. Old man figures out technology. She looks, yeah, kind of similar. I think they kind of accentuated her weaknesses. Or her proportions, you know what I mean? Oh, here we go. What's going on here? Oh, they have a different person doing her body. It's Shannon Woodward. Whoa. That's not Shannon, right? That's Ashley JoJo. I don't... Pinterest? Fuck off. Pinterest is so pushy. Ha! Look at her little girly face. She went from being... who's the girl that used to... That she took her... what from? Ellen Page. Yeah. She went through puberty and went from Ellen Page to Ashley Johnson. Sorry, Ashley. I liked her Ellen Page look better. Who's that? Who's this? What's going on here? Pinterest. Ruby Rose. Alright. I'm getting distracted here. They never confirmed it was Ellen? Dude. Ellen Page sued them or threatened legal action, and they changed it. So, and it was like so obvious. Open your eyes. Why? Well, of course they would never confirm it, because they were being. If they confirmed it, then they could be, like they would be admitting guilt. It was like a serious legal thing. Yeah. Hey, One Lich came for some Glover action. All right, let's see. What am I looking for? I want to see Last of Us 2 actors. Who's this guy? The voice cast. Mm-hmm. Who is the... Yeah, who's this? This is the one I wanted to see. Shannon Woodward. Who's that? She looks kind of familiar. Not a lead. Whoa. Not a leading lady face. There's something like hard to connect with on her face. She looks angry. Matt, you're so sexist. Women don't have to smile all the time. Or just like a little bit tired. Negan. Classic Glover. Matt's finally done with The Last of Us. See some fun Glover. Alright. Last of Us 2. Abby. Actor. This is the one Prince said people thought was going to be a gay love scene. Those are pretty feminine lips. What's this person saying? Naughty Dog made female characters less feminine to be trans-friendly. Is that the real one? Wow. The animation's so good, it's like hard to tell which is real, which is fake. Yeah, they did. Lowered her boobs, gave her more like muscular arms, gave her more like a masculine bone structure here. Interesting. Oh man, that's what Dina looks like in real life. Definitely hotter. They did that with like the what's that? Star Wars Battlefront. Resting sultry face. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You just kind of like pick a face, scan it in, but someone acting is going to be different. If it's going to be a different person, but I would think like why would you? Yeah. Grayify their what do you call it? Grayify their gender. Oh yes, I did. Okay, let's see. I don't know what else is there to see. Abby, real life actor. Abby receives death threat. That's Laura Bailey? People are so stupid. Oh my god. So I haven't even seen like reviews of this game. I haven't seen anything. Last of Us Part 2 reviews. I would think the critics have probably gave it huge amounts. 10 out of 10. Push square. I've never read a push square. The Guardian. I think, I mean, obviously a lot of the sort of like liberal slanting publications are probably going to love it because it's dealing with trans stuff and it's taking like it is kind of taking a bit of a political stance towards it. Now, when people say that it's not political to just have people in your game, to have trans people, Asian people in your game. That's like saying people's existence is political. These people exist, and of course they deserve to exist. But it comes down to the portrayal of it. Like taking face scanning somebody and body scanning them and then making them look less feminine is a strange choice. It almost feels like it's trying too hard. Yeah, sure. Okay, where would we find that? See, here's the thing about Google. You can find your own reality. I can put in Last of Us. I can put in Last of Us Part 2 is awesome or Last of Us Part 2 garbage. And I'm going to find all this stuff. Trash. Well, you look like a really mature person. It's actual garbage. 12 minutes, I'm going to make my point. Last of Us 2 leaks prove the game is garbage. I just started playing this part and finished where Joel is in the cabin with the new Abby character. Story's garbage. I like how it's so funny that people come up with their opinion before it's over, you know? It's kind of funny. You really got to think of... oh, yeah, definitely will check out Donkeys. He's a genius a lot of the time. You just can't take what he says too seriously because... Well, because sometimes it is very serious and other times it's a joke, so he's sort of hard to... He liked it. Don't spoil the review, you dick. How long do you play as Abby in Last of Us 2? 12 hours. See, this is the thing where you can't look up anything. These Google questions... This is how I was spoiled. Why does Abby kill Joel? Was right here, and the people also ask. Hey, I know you didn't search for it, but would you like to be spoiled in these questions? Yeah, you spoiled me. Last of Us Part 2. 0 out of 10. I guess, here, let's check out Metacritic. You just type in Metacritic and Last of Us Part 2 comes up automatically. User score 5. Really bad. This review contains spoilers. Thank you, Hoonork. A complete destruction of every character and story from the first game, paired with absolutely misleading marketing. Not a single character acts like they're supposed to. There is no satisfaction or conclusion to the story. Character deaths are there for shock value. The trailer's completely manipulated scenes. That scene where Joel grabs Ellie to tell her he won't let her do this alone, it's actually Jesse in the final game. Joel is long gone. And then the point where old Joel and Ellie talk, it's a flashback, not present day. That's the end of the review. Breaks my heart to write this, but I really did not expect such a poor story after all these years of waiting. While there were a few genuinely good moments, majority of game filled up with plot holes. It just took elements of what worked for the first game without understanding what made them compelling. It seemed like this game was done by another studio. But it's not! The basic gameplay stayed the same for better or worse. Oh, this is one you read, Horky. Environmental puzzles are almost gone. No, I don't think they are. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. I waited 5 years to play this and they gave me horrible intro and shit ending. I want to forget about this game. Posted on June 19th. This is the day that the game came out. Yeah. Oh my God. Disappointing. Inconsistencies. Disrespect. A general lack of logic and decision making. Despite the possibility of experiencing sensible, realistic, and above all interesting journeys with new returning characters, they shove mostly dry garbage in your face, force you to grudgingly eat it for hours. The series is about the story, and the passable gameplay is just a tool to tell it. Let's see. This person's not really making any points. The drag of the plot, nonsensical. 7 at best. Dry garbage, not wet. Here's a 5 from Jack Bones. Let's see, this person gave it a 3. Upgrades, environments. The AI is bad. This person was so good at the game. They played it on hard and thought it was on easy. Cool. Cool humble brag in there. Hated every second of the story. Yes. Yeah. I don't think they needed to kill him right away, but I guess you need to have Ellie... I think you need to have a reason, I guess, for Ellie to go on the journey. But you could have had something else where, like, they have to go on a mission together. They have to save, like, Tommy or something. Tommy gets kidnapped, and Joel and Ellie have to go get him. Jesse comes along, and Dina. Ellie and Dina fall in love on the way. It gets awkward with Jesse. Jesse dies. They save Tommy, but Joel sacrifices himself to save Tommy. It did kind of feel like I mean, other than the moments of, like, extreme, like the memories of the space museum and stuff. It's kind of like the game didn't really like Joel anymore, you know? I will agree with this too. Ellie's no longer a witty and impulsive girl that made you laugh and happy. She's now a stone-cold killer with little to no emotion. That's actually pretty true. She doesn't even really like any of Dina's jokes. She's just pissed off. She's so consumed by it. I guess, like Leonard said, why would they kidnap Tommy, though? To lure Joel out. That's why. To lure him away. They took him hostage, and Joel's like, I'll go. They want me, I'll go. And Ellie's like, no, you're not going alone, even though I hate you. And Dean is like, you're not going without me. Jesse goes too. And then you could have had the fun dynamic of the whole group. And you could have seen Joel and Ellie's. They could have had more time to have like conflict and awkwardness. And then the whole Dina and Ellie falling in love thing, and Jesse feeling awkward, that kind of thing. They did. I don't think. But then you wanted to have the flashback of them at the dance. You didn't need to have that either. You didn't need to have the. Yeah, I think it seems like big points were made on the plot board, and then they had to fill in the holes all around it, and that didn't always create a super stunning and well-told story. Daryl. Yeah, it is. I don't disagree with a lot of this person's points. It doesn't. I still think that the game is. It's like these reviews are very personal. Oh, Daryl. Oh, Daryl, don't stay here. We've just been talking about everything that's been happening. Oh, Daryl, I have like spoilers on the screen and stuff. Yes, Daryl, I was once you. All right. All right. You didn't read the screen? Fantastic. Okay. The big points with filling the holes is also what you came in here with. Yeah, it's sort of like, I think Corky had said that, where it felt like they had ideas. They wanted this to be the conceit of the story, to start the story, and they wanted to tell it in this way. And then they were like, okay, we kind of need them to do these things, so we're going to come up with this to make them do that, and playing with the motivation. And it's just, yeah, it kind of felt like they wrote themselves into a wall a few times, and for the most part managed to get out of it. But yeah, it's just kind of, it's lacking a lot of what they're really good at. Daryl just wanted to talk about some Glover. That's true. That's not fair. Daryl clicked on here looking for Glover, and instead he got this. Miss you, Daryl. I miss you. So, I'd say overall it's a pretty thought-provoking game that I think is pretty strong. It's a very, very... Yeah, you're totally right, Horky. It's a challenging game. It's an ambitious game. At times it really succeeds and creates things I've never seen in games before. But it was very uncomfortable getting there. And it was misleading marketing. It really was. And I can see why some people thought that they were going to have the same emotions from, like, if you consume media to have an emotion. Like, okay, The Last of Us Part 1 is kind of dark, but in the end, other than the uncertainty of Joel lying to Ellie, it's like kind of a heroic, happy thing, right? Yeah, Metal Gear Solid totally did. But see, Metal Gear Solid and Kojima, it's no secret that Kojima wants to mess with your head. Metal Gear Solid 1 still kind of like, it throws a lot of twists and turns at you. Who Liquid is, who Master Miller is, who Snake is, and all this stuff. Final Fantasy VII Remake is absolutely misleading marketing. That was Nomura saying, hey, you want to play your favorite game again? Too bad, suckers! Now you're fighting in heaven, space, time, lord, dimensions, floating ghosts, and all this bullshit. It'd be like this. You know, like somebody who turns on a comedy, a light-hearted comedy, and then they make a sequel to it, and then it's like tonally way different. I mean, what's consistent about this game to the last in storytelling is that this world is hard and life is hard. Was it really that different of a game? No, not that different, but it definitely did lack a lot of sort of like heartwarming moments. It's only misleading if you don't like it. I kind of disagree with that, because I would say that it literally was misleading, and I think that they very intentionally, they literally had a different character in the cutscene and didn't show you anything that happened in the second half of the game. You play the majority of the game as Abby, is what it feels like. Yeah, it's misleading. The trailer that they faked? Yeah, okay. Hang on, let me retitle this. Oh my god, Lena, like, you're being so reductive to say every trailer is misleading. Yeah, sure, like little things here and there to stop spoilers. This is like kind of representing a different game. Jesus Christ, you're such an apologist. Like, you're smarter than that to make that argument. Come on. Final episode and discussion. Reaction! It's perfectly fine if I threaten you with a knife, as long as I let you know I was joking after the fact. Yeah, it's definitely not. It was all a joke, man. Okay. The Last of Us 2 trailer. Fake? Oh, you gave me the links. Thank you. Uh-oh. Wait. Boom. That's not the right window capture. That's not the right window capture. That's the right window capture. While I'm doing that, I want to do my titles. Alright, let's see this fake-ass trailer. Fake trailers. Oh my god, a Canadian. Canadians play video games! Ah! This one is near the end of it. Okay.
Scale of 1 to 10. How would you rate our kiss from last night?
I never saw any of these.
Join us. All right. You all know the drill. Run your routes. Mark your logbooks.
That guy sounds so American.
You run into anything you can't handle.
Ellie!
You come back.
Oh yeah, that's Jesse's voice for sure.
Get off me! Please stop! No!
Wow. People must have guessed that that was Joel dying there.
Tommy,
Especially with Tommy showing up like this.
I have to finish it.
You have no idea what you're walking into.
What are you doing?
You don't know how large that group is, how armed.
I don't care. hell are you doing here?
You think I'd let you do this on your own?
Oh god, the face looks so weird there. Oh, okay. So they made it seem like somebody died and that you and Joel were going to go on an awesome kind of a romp. Like an adventure. And judging from Ellie having Dina's bracelet throughout the journey. Right. Where are you? I see. The gunshot. Interesting. So it's, yeah, that was. So, and that kind of comes down to like the culture of obsessing over trailers and getting hyped up for things. If you want people to be really, really hyped up, I think you kind of have to expect that. That was a pretty big tease. And then like the tone they had there in that trailer was super misleading. And I can see why people would be pissed off. I ignore all the trailers, so I just take it as it comes. So I have a different experience with it. But, and I mean, I don't have like a personal... I guess I don't feel personal about it. I don't feel like they owe me something. I still have the first game to love. But... maybe because I played slower with you guys or something. But, yeah, I think that people are acting ridiculously. I mean... you should never, like, the whole death threats thing is so obvious. You should never be doing that. But it's more of like, you thought it was quite smart, Felix? It's sort of like you got rid of the, it's a different feeling. That trailer evokes something totally different. Of like what the tone of it is. It's just, you're like, hey, Ellie's going to be a badass. And Joel's going to be there, and you're going to go on some fun, like Princess Magically Murder adventure. It can be a clever asshole. Absolutely, yeah. It was a clever asshole. Yeah, there's another one with old Joel and Ellie. Here we go. Is this the third one, Prince, or the second one that I'm looking at here?
Things were different.
Oh, shit. Here we go. Nice. Ellie's in these Joel's in these trailers more than he's in the game.
Ellie! I'll take aim.
Please stop.
Glover.
I'm leaving tomorrow.
To do this smart, we'd be leaving Jackson vulnerable.
Do they just get away with this?
How'd you find us?
You can't stop this.
I want what you want. But not at any cost.
What's with the shaking hand? I love that red light.
I hope you make it.
Man, she's so good with her eyes, eh? And that they can convey that in a game.
I have to finish it.
There's a cost.
Wow. The end of the game.
We could have killed you. Maybe you should have.
have to publish a trailer to ensure people have some preconceptions so you can count on doing things differently. What if they just would have not done any trailers? I mean, obviously this is like their biggest thing. Their I think kind of, you know what Horky said of you can be clever and still be an asshole. And also, you can have a very clever story and it not be, super enjoyable. Just because it's clever. It's like clever and challenging. Like Fallout 4. Fallout 4 didn't need much marketing or trailers. I think, we might even have to revisit it. Because there's kind of so much swirling around in my head about it. Other than... Yeah, I don't think I'd ever want to play this again. Yeah, revisit. Maybe come back and play the New Game Plus for an hour or two. You know, see the beginning again. Kind of forget what it was. What was going on. No. DLC. This kind of felt like a DLC of the first game. What the heck? Ellie Patrol. Ellie birthday. This is weird. How do you get these peas? Wow, these are pretty cool looking, even the silhouettes. Joel on the lookout. I've got 41 bees. Rat King. They're really beautifully done. All right, well, let's go with a young Ellie. That's it. Meow. Look at that little smirk. What? Wow. Look at that friggin' hair move. That's amazing. Where's that spark gone? Where's that spark gone, older Ellie? Joel took it. Joel took it and killed me. Look at that friggin' snow. Oh. Dina. Dina on the farm. But the potato. This is creepy. They look like robots. What did you want? Owen? Owen in Jackson. Young Owen in the zoo. Owen Seattle. Owen Christmas. Young Owen in the aquarium. Pick one, buddy boy. Mel in Seattle. I'm not going to spend my peas on Mel. Suck a duck, Mel. Who's Mike? Jordan. Wolf. Mean old Isaac. Maria. A lot of horses. A lot of horse love. Gustavo. Hey, it's the composer. Well, that's what he looks like. Older than I thought. Yeah. Large rattler. God, there's so much after I thought it was over. Ellie's birthday. I got a bite. Lemon face. Wow. Look at those jeans. Look at all that extra hair on the side. I want to see a bald scar. A lot of Jesse stuff. Abby smash. See, when you first see Abby like this, just like her whole body, you're like, whoa. Big, like, square jaw. Almost like a roid belly. Abby smash. I got a new smashing record, Owen. I'm smashing quite well. Oh, what about last Abby? God, they kind of do have that like Holocaust haircut, don't they? Sort of like Ripley at the end of an Alien movie. What is that, from The Sun? Oh, Jesus Lord. See, what did first Dina look like? I guess she almost has like a Seraphite haircut. Jesse. All right. Well, overall, Game Plus. Custom Plus. I don't even remember the beginning part of the game. Glover. I had to change all my game titles. And my thumbnails. Alright, see you later, Lena. This must have been a great game for you. For your contrarian lifestyle. I think I still need to think on it for a day of like a overall feel about it, other than it being super ambitious and unique, but in terms of like really enjoying it.
I don't know what happened. I was supposed to take her to the Fireflies and walk away. You go halfway across the country with someone. She needed her immunity to mean something. Maybe I was starting to buy into that old cure business. Maybe I just wanted to do right by her. And then we made it. We found the Firefly. Because of her, they were actually going to make a cure. The only catch, it would kill her. Sweet Jesus.
Doctor?
What are you doing? I won't let you take her. This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
Joel smash.
Jesus Christ, Joel. What do you do?
I saved her. Come on, baby girl. I got you. I got you.
Cover the exit. Don't let him get away.
God damn. That's that's a lot. What does Ellie know?
I told her they just ran some tests. I told her her immunity meant nothing.
And she believed you?
I didn't say otherwise.
We should head back.
Yeah. I mean, what else could you have done with the story? Is like, could you have had... I kind of wish they would have went on like an adventure together and then still dealt with the lies. Like, still dealt with him lying to her and them fighting and everything kind of coming together. Would have been nice. Instead, it just kind of became this totally different story of not killing people and revenge. Which is linked to the first game. But I don't know, it's more like a like The Last of Us Part 2 seems to be more of a commentary on just sort of gaming violence in general. I mean, what Joel did was a big deal. If she was really the only person who's ever been immune. But I feel like so much of that is not explored. It just becomes, can we make you... Like, it kind of feels like to me the entire point of The Last of Us Part 2 is Can we make you like a villain enough to stop you wanting revenge? And we're going to use The Last of Us Part 1's lovable characters to make you want that revenge. I don't think it needed to be a Last of Us game. It could have just been its own IP. So I can see why people feel like they were, they were misled in what it was going to do. I think that marketing is when marketing is a way to like get people to spend money on something. Hey, you like that first game? Here's more. Ellie and Joel are going on an adventure, and then it ends up being like not that. It's an Abby adventure. So, the marketing is as villainous as the characters. Yeah. I applaud the uniqueness of it and the challenge of it and the courageousness of doing that, but I personally would have preferred a different story. Well, I think he wanted to take a risk, and it's kind of like you have the idea, and then you think people are like not gonna like it or struggle with it, and then you just kind of go for it. You come up with the idea, and you see what you can do with it. There's no guarantee when you're doing something new like this. But yeah, I think kind of luring people in because it's the continuation of a story, but then kind of telling something that is completely different is very misleading. So, usually zombie movies are going to focus more on The Cure, which was the first game. Part 2 bucked the trend. So, yeah, but I mean, even if it was more about, like, Joel lying to Ellie, which there was a bit of, but, yeah, it was like another 15, 20 hours of this other piece of the story in the game that was brand new. It'll be a game that I think is like looked back on as, I think if this game's story is more and its interaction as a game is a piece of art that is challenging, uncomfortable, not something I'd really want to revisit, but gives me lots to think about. Cure or survival. Yeah. It's true. It did kind of feel like, well, why do we even care about the infected? They're just kind of this obstacle to get through that doesn't really have anything to do with... Because people survive. They're just, like, people have... It's not a problem anymore. They have cities. They have establishments. People live, and it's fine. So, that's pretty interesting. Yeah. It's fine with what it is. They were important to the plot of the first game, not at all to this one. Exactly, yeah. So, I don't take it as personally as the people that are the loudest complainers about it. But, and it's hard to review something in a way of like, do you review how well it's made? Do you review how much people are going to enjoy it? I mean, something that's... Okay, like watching Schindler's List, it's a great movie about the Holocaust. It's not really an enjoyable time. And not something you definitely want to go back to. But it's a well-made Holocaust movie. But it also wasn't misleading. Going into Schindler's List what you're going to get. And I think this kind of like was... This was a huge misdirection. It's almost like they were scared that people wouldn't like it, so they kind of made it seem like it was something totally different. And it really was. Same characters, same presentation, same combat system, but like it kind of felt more like a TV series or like a soap opera with the amount of time they spend on yeah, that first trailer, I can see where people are coming from. I don't like how people go about it, but I see where they're coming from and part of what they're angry about. I totally understand. It did feel like Neil Druckmann was very interested in making a lot of statements. Statements about violence, violence in video games, and also phobia's bigotry representation in media. Yeah, the level of investment is high. These things take a long time to come out. And you're taking characters that people know and love. I felt the same way about 7 Remake, where it's like, okay, this is an interesting idea, but this isn't what you told me this was going to be. And not the reason why I bought it. You know? I don't want your Nomura bullshit. I don't buy Kingdom Hearts games, so you should have said this was actually like Dirge of Cerberus 2 or whatever those Final Fantasy 7 games are he made after 7, rather than 7 Remake. Because it actually literally is, I think, a sequel to those games, where there's those other. I don't know those games because I don't play them. I don't like Nomura crap, but there is like it's a continuation of that story of like Sephiroth and Aerith. Yeah. There's a Nomura in my soup. I'm going to burn this restaurant down. Starring Laura Bailey.
Come on. It's okay. I got him. You go on.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I kind of felt like
About what
there
we were
was
talking about.
so much detail in Jackson that we must come back. I'm really surprised we never did.
I can't say I'd have done different. I'll take it to the grave if I have to.
Yeah, like you were saying, all the wandering was pretty much kind of like a been there, done that. More buildings, more wandering, exploring.
I'll see you later, Tom.
Infection here and there. Yeah. I just want to hear. I want to see him play that song again. Is that the song she's listening to at the farmhouse? She could be naked, Joel.
Hello.
That'd be an interesting stat, Berg. That's the cool thing about Steam reviews. You can see how many hours people play, and if they actually own it. Oh, that seems like a whole lifetime ago, this part of the game.
Jesus. Almost gave me a heart attack.
I tried knocking, but
Hey,
hey,
what's up, Joel?
just checking in.
Just being casual.
Folks are, talking about how impressed they are with you and how well you're helping out.
It's good.
Yeah. Tommy and I went out riding the other day, and he, they told me a joke, and I thought about you. It's, oh, shoot, now I forgot it. Something about a clock. How do you...
Joel, it's pretty late and I gotta Get up in a few hours.
Yeah. I know. I'm gonna get out of your hair. Just,
Oh, he's getting ready to play a song. So nervous.
I want to show you something. Just give me 1 second.
And like kind of this whole,
What's this?
I think a song has more meaning now that I know
Some
that she blew
folks
him
call
up.
this thing here a guitar.
Funny.
You want to hear something?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Promise
Saying
me
Jesus and a lot of those old
that
types
you
of
wouldn't laugh.
sayings.
I won't laugh.
Religious, like would people still even have religion?
I won't.
I'm trusting you.
Yeah, I can see that, Felix.
If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself. Everything I have found here, I'm not found by myself. Try and sometimes you'll succeed to make this man of me. All my stolen missing parts I've no need for any more, 'cause I believe, and I believe 'cause I can see our future days.
Yeah, good point,
Days
Orky.
of you and me.
I mean, she found love with Dina, but nothing after, he was her center.
There you go.
Well, that didn't suck.
I'll take what I can get. She's yours.
No. No. I don't know the first thing
I
about
promised
this.
that I'd teach you how to play.
You did.
So what do you say, tomorrow night? First lesson?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
His little tucked in shirt. Now you gotta be responsible with a guitar. This here is a guitar.
Do you remember the joke?
What is the downside to eating a clock? It's time consuming.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. Good night, kiddo.
All right. Well, I guess we'll be back on Wednesday. Hostile death and murdering accessories. Now remember, kids, revenge is not cool. Stop the cycle of violence. Support representation of LGBTQs in your video games. All right. I'm out of here. I'd give that a sliding 7 to 9. Check out Donkey's video. It was a ride. Thought-provoking. It's a thought-provoking piece of art. It wasn't your general... I think a lot of video gamers are just not used to that tone of art. And based on the first game and the trailers, they would have no reason to expect it. So, well, we're left with that. Glover, 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 Glover.